Welcome to the scene, the place where you can get a club life. I'm your host, DJ Intrigue.
Welcome back to the scene. I'm Anthony Geathers. I'm here with Roadrunner recording artist, nice Cavalera from Soulfly. Nice to see you again.
In other countries, like Macedonia was the first time. That was amazing. It was 4,000 people going crazy, and I mean, some of them waited forever because they were, they were Sepultura fans. They never got to see me.
Okay.
Now they're Soulfly fans, but they're still Sepultura fans. You
Okay.
know, so I play old songs, new songs. It was great, man. It was really, really exciting, like to see the hunger. They were hungry for music,
Okay.
and we delivered. It was a great show.
Nice. Speaking of Sepultura, do you actually talk to the guys in Sepultura at all, or is there any kind of communication? Do you hate their guts?
No, I mean, I'm glad that some of the last couple of stuff that came out, I was glad they came out, which was the live album in Brixton, which was my last show with them.
Okay.
That came out a couple months ago. And that's cool because I think it closes a chapter in the Sepultura with Max, because it was one thing with me, and now it's complete. I think it's a completely different thing. And like Pantera has a live album.
Yeah.
Metallica has an official.
Of course.
Sepultura should have one, and I'm glad that Roadrunner decided to put one
Put it out. Okay.
And it's cool to see how young we were and
Sure.
how the things we were talking about at that time. Surprisingly, it's really modern, now. We're doing songs like Territory, which talks about the crisis of Palestine and Israel.
Yeah.
Which pretty much that's what's going on today. And that video was done 10 years ago, It's
And it matched up nicely,
really
too.
surprising that, sometimes I go, wow, man, we were right on it and people didn't even knew, like, Sepultura was actually quite ahead of the time in some of the stuff that we were doing, the percussion, the tribal stuff.
I want to ask you, I noticed that you play in the Primitive video, you kind of blowing this horn thing, or some kind of wood thing in the video. Like, what is that? Is that some kind of an instrument that you carved up, or it's like you blow into it and you're yelling?
No, it's a berimbau. It's called berimbau.
Okay.
It's a Brazilian instrument I picked up in the north of Brazil, where a lot of the colonies of slaves came, from Africa and Bahia, and you see them on the street, they're doing the capoeira dance, which is some kind of like fight dance type thing, martial arts a little bit. And the guys around the circle, they play this instrument, which is a coconut with, looks like a bow and arrow with a coconut with one string.
Yeah, and you also have that in this video too.
I've been playing for a couple years now.
I've seen that.
It's like my favorite instrument.
Okay, besides guitar?
Yeah, the guitar I need for the riffs, I need to throw the mad riffs at the crowd. But the berimbau I believe, is to be my trademarks in terms of the roots of Brazil. It's so cool because like the minute, even when the roadies do the line check, the crowd knows. They're like, yeah, they know it's on.
You're very spiritual in how you handle a lot of your stuff. Like, where do you draw your spiritual beliefs from?
Just life itself, because I think his life has been go through rough moments, rough parts of your life, where. That's why I think that spirituality comes in. When you think it cannot be done, and you manage to do it. So I believe that was somebody from guiding you and then giving you strength. And like in my case is God. That's why I dedicate the album to God. Because for me to make a band after Sepultura was almost like impossible task.
Okay.
And I didn't know if I was gonna be able to do it.
Okay.
It was kind of like music's all I do, is all I live for. But man. Start all over again like that. It was crazy, it was like where I even start, so I just start by writing songs and keep the faith, find the right guys and keep the faith. The man upstairs is gonna give me that strength that I need to continue. And I'm here now, 5 years I've already been Soulfly established, and that's why I have to give that spirituality, praise and thanks.
Okay. But a lot of percussion stuff. Now, a lot of that obviously is Brazilian from your blood. Okay, so you actually were able to work that into. When did you decide so I'm gonna take percussion and metal and then merge together. Like, when did you come up with that name? Was it like a revelation where you sleep one day and said, Soulfly, metal, percussion? Like, how'd you come up with that whole theory?
It was a slow development from album to album. It started on Chaos AD.
Okay.
Sepultura Chaos AD was the first mix of a little bit of percussion and heavy guitars. Then Roots was a big step up when we went to the Tribe in Brazil, and we record with Carlinhos Brown, which is a Brazilian famous percussionist. Then from Roots on, when I decided to do Soulfly, I realized that Soulfly, yes, is the tribal element. It's definitely a big part of Soulfly. It's gonna have to be, because it's just, I'm just totally fascinated by mixing, primitive instruments with guitars and stuff. I think I like it a lot. I think it's like, and I think the crowd likes it too. Without that, a friend of mine told me that if you take all that, Soulfly is just gonna be another metal band in the block. And with that, Soulfly is perhaps the most different metal band in the block.
Yeah.
So it's a huge element.
Sure.
If you think about it. Even when you take that out, you totally lose all the exotic flavor of the music. And by having that, you have that. I think that's what keeps Soulfly. You will not see that in a Limp Bizkit album.
No.
You will not see that in a Papa Roach album.
Limp Bizkit.
It's like.
If you were going to give somebody, speaking of integrity, a word of advice, who wanted to get into this business, basically say, some young up-and-coming kid who's out of high school, is playing guitar, bass, whatever the case might be, songwriter, and says, I want to play in a band now. So what advice would you say to him?
That's hard, man.
But think about it, you stuck it out. You made it for yourself, and you had a loyal friend.
You gotta follow your heart, and hopefully find the right people. That's very important. The people that think the same as you, that want to work real hard as the same as you want to, and believe on what you're doing. And believe is another thing. Even when the whole world don't believe in what you're doing, and everybody says, sucks. You gotta believe it, unless you really suck.